Previously, on Rise of the Runelords. After having slain the gods in the basement under the Chapel of Gunador, the party went through the secret entrance in the closet. They had no idea what they were in for. A red light began to swirl and pulse in the room, growing ever bigger as they drew closer. Some voices echo throughout the chamber, and now they're staring at 5 wizards with lipless wonders summoned. It was a fucking ambush. This was a fucking fireball dropping on Murder Hoboville. For a few seconds, this place was Armageddon. Oh, there was a wizard fight! After a beautifully orchestrated battle, which absolutely did not involve one wizard with 5 lipless wonders, our heroes finally laid their assailants to rest. Today, the adventure continues.
So we pick up, like I said, Grelda had just knocked the wizard unconscious, and Tarnin had run up beside her, and that is where we left off.
Yeah, I had this great speech at the last session, but that was like a month ago, and I can't find my freaking notes, so I guess I'll just have to...
In place of that, like, Grelda
No offense, Icky.
grabs the guy, like the wizard, by his lapels, or what would be like his wizard lapels, and just shakes him and go, "What do you know?"
So are you? There we go.
He's unconscious.
Just make it easier. Yes, he's currently unconscious. If you would like to wake him up.
No. I like not necessarily.
Oh no, she's just yelling at the unconscious
wizard. Like shakes him a bit. He's like, "What do you know?" Like not actually doing anything to really like properly rouse him, unless he was just on the edge of rousing.
Tarnin places a hand on her shoulder and says, "Good job. You managed to not kill him this time."
Like, it was hard.
I believe you.
Stroke Sasha a bit. Like, so hard.
Well, now we got to try to get him to talk and tell us what we want. So we have to convince him that telling us what we want to know is a beneficial thing for him. Could you do me a favor? Icky,
Huh?
would you be willing to help stack the bodies all together near here so where the guy can see them? And I'll drag the wizard out so he can see them all, and we're going to bury them and then give him the option to join them or tell us what we want to know.
Icky like, okay, sure. So like Icky goes and starts like dragging bodies.
Okay. Since Geisen, since you mentioned searching for loot, did you want to go with Icky and then roll an inspection or investigation check while you guys are running around?
And can he help since he's looking through the bodies, or is that
He can.
Should I roll twice, or do you want to roll? You're on mute.
Son of a. All right, yeah, you should. Icky will so help, and you should absolutely just roll with advantage.
Okay.
Oh,
While they're searching, Gendrick is going to go over by where Sunichi is now and pick up the smoking ruins of what was WD-40. Just collecting the pieces for WD-41.
27.
I love it.
All right. Okay, so as well, first, Gendrick, you walk over and their WD-40 had exploded after he made his not R2D2 sound. So there, like, you are able to get a large number of the pieces that you had used, but they are bent and warped and they're in rough shape, but you're able to get probably 75% of him back. Then Icky and Geisen, as you walk around, you come to where the first robed figure is. You walk to the west and then to the south, and right in this area. And as you come around the corner, you see that the tattered robe is there, but there's nothing inside of it. It has sunken down to the ground, and you can see around the robe is an almost grayish, silverish puddle of unmoving liquid that has begun to soak into the fabric of the robe.
Would Geisen, would that be familiar to Geisen as far as what might cause that or anything?
Give me an Arcana check.
Guessing Icky can't help me with that one.
Icky's got a -1 on that there Arcana.
Uh-oh.
Super helpful.
15.
15. I would say you have heard of certain aberrations. You've heard of creatures that when they die kind of dissolve almost more in stories and fairy tales than any of the actual Arcana books that you've read.
When we were in the cave above Icky's village, was the liquid in the bottom of the pool, used to be liquid, was that just water, or was that some kind of strange silvery liquid like this?
It was water. It was bubbling water.
Okay.
But it was water.
So I guess is anybody else aside from Icky and Geisen going around checking bodies?
Yes. I'm not really checking bodies so much as I'm checking out the state of the robes.
Okay. So I guess, once Icky once this revelation has hit Icky, then he'd probably just be like, this guy is like a metal puddle. There's no body.
Does the liquid look familiar at all? Or does it look like something?
I would say it's not. It doesn't remind you of anything you've seen before.
Okay.
And like I said, it's begun to soak into the robe. And Sinishi, as you're walking around as well, you come upon another one of the deceased robe figures, and it's the same thing. The tattered robe is there, but there is no form inside of it. It's just sitting on top of and soaked into this grayish silver liquid. And as Geisen and Icky are kind of going around the top circle, you do notice more of those separated alcoves with the writing on top of the entryway to it.
Are they all actually, is it like the picture? They're Stargate open kind of thing, or?
It's a circle with runic symbols inside of it that is casting a faint glow.
Okay.
Let me see. I have not been able to figure out how to get this to stay, but it looks more like that.
Okay.
But I just did the swirling colors more for position than anything.
So far, none of the bodies had anything other than liquid and a robe.
Other than liquid in the robe, how much do you want to investigate the robe and the liquid? Because you're looking at it right now.
And are you looking at the potential corpse of the other thing that they had.
I'm going to be looking at it pretty closely because I'm very intrigued about the changing colors of the robe and if it's a property of the fabric or something like a spell that they had done.
As you all look at the robes, they are still red. So if anybody would like to go deeper into investigating the robes or the liquid puddle, let me know.
Does Geisen sense any magic from them, or would I need to cast a spell for?
You already did an Arcana check, so I would say not that you can notice.
DM, now that Gendrick has collected the scrap metal, can he take a look at this, see if it's anything he recognizes?
You can give me an Arcana check as well.
Okay. I'm gonna use Flash of Genius on myself.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, liquid metal, you say, and give myself a +4 on this roll.
All right.
That's a 20.
That's a 20.
Dirty 20.
What was that? I'm sorry.
Dirty 20. So not
Dirty 20. Okay. As far as you can remember, it's kind of the same thing that Geisen had recalled. Nothing in any, I don't want to say hard science books, but none of the Arcana tomes that you've looked at, any of the people you've talked to, it just seems to be in almost children's bedtime stories. A monster comes out, and when the brave hunter kills it, it kind of dissolves into a pool of filth.
I would absolutely like to investigate the robes further, I suppose, and the effect of the puddle on them.
Okay, so are you reaching down and just like touching and grabbing the robe?
Yep.
All right. As you pick up the robe, you do notice that it is, I mean, it's nice fabric. There doesn't seem to be, and it doesn't seem to be like silk or anything like that, but it seems to be a fairly nice fabric, although it is damp from the liquid, but the liquid is almost has a gel-like quality. It's not, it doesn't move like water. It kind of moves more in a gel form, more slowly, almost syrupy.
Ew.
Does anyone have a bottle with a stopper or any kind of equipment that we could maybe capture some of this liquid in?
Are you asking that out loud?
Yes. Sorry.
Karna says, I got a couple of vials that are empty. They got some cork stoppers.
I'm not sure what this is, but for some reason I'm compelled to maybe take some with us.
Sure. I hand over 2 vials with cork stoppers.
Okay. I'm going to try and capture some of the goo and I guess hope it doesn't just turn to dust in the vial.
Fairly easily. You were able to kind of run the vial through the goop and fill them up. Some of it does coat the outside and like slowly runs down and drips off the bottom in a big glob, but you are able to fill it up and cork it without too much of a problem.
And then Geisen would just check to make sure there aren't any like pockets that might have any items in them or anything.
As far as you can tell, there are no pockets in these robes. There's the hood and the robe itself, the sleeves, but there doesn't seem to be any storage space in the robes themselves.
Well, I'm going to just kind of drop the fabric back down because it's slimy, and even if it's nice, no, it's not something cool like blood. I can't really deal with slimy.
Anybody else as you are, and that is, Geisen, that's all you really find. As you make your way around, you do notice that there are 7 of these little alcoves, and you are able to tell, you especially, you and Gendrick, that the runes on the stone archways, they all are slightly different. They have some similar qualities, but it's not like it's the same set of runes in every one.
Dyson is going to use comprehend languages.
All right. Is that a free one or is that a spell slot? Which I cannot remember.
It's like an ability. I get like a 1 use for free.
Oh, okay. 1 use a long rest. All right. In that case, Geisen casts that, and you kind of start from the southwest and make your way around. And on the southwest one, you see that it says Zingastash across the top of it for the first one.
Zingastash, like the city?
No, Zingastash. Gastash.
Okay. And is that something that Geisen's heard of before?
You recognize the Zin part from the Zin Shalast stories, but other than that, nothing, not at all.
And when Geisen gets to the top one,
Mhm.
While the other wizard's unconscious, he wants to look around and make sure he doesn't have any items on him that don't like melt when he dies or something.
Okay. So as you make your way, you have the Zin Gastash. The next one up is Zin Cruzian. Cerusian, I apologize. Cyrusian. Cerusian. The next one is Zin Urthia. Uyrythia. Urethia. Then and then the one at the very, very top that you stop by is in Haruka. Haruka. And then as you stop by the robed figure, you lean down. Are you going to kind of give him a pat down?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll stick with the same investigation check just so you don't have to roll it again. As you begin to pat down the fabric, you're pushing it down and like pressing it against the creature itself. And you start kind of towards the ankles and work your way up. And as you're pressing down, you notice that not only are the legs very like thin, almost bone thin, but once you get up to the knees, you notice that they actually bend the other way. They bend backwards. And as you're pressing against the skin, like as you're pressing the fabric of the robe against the body, it almost has an extra give, so that you just like you get the impression that if you push too hard, like you just feel like you'll push right through the skin, like you'll push the fabric into the body. It gives a little too much for comfort. And as you pat your way up onto the chest, you do feel a hard circular object, like right on the chest, with kind of a chain going up and around. And then it has the hood and then the flat white mask. And then the top of the robe goes up to the bottom of the mask, covering its face. But the only thing on the creature's body other than the robe is a kind of circular object underneath.
Can I try to take the item, whatever the thing, the necklace or whatever it is under the...
Yes. As you reach up, you do notice that the top of the robe around the neck is extremely tight. Like it doesn't seem like there's any way to get it off up here. So you would either need to cut it or lift up from the bottom. Because it looks like even if you were to take the top hood down, there's not enough of an opening to really pull.
Tarnan, would you mind cutting a little bit here so I can get at whatever this item is.
Is anyone still standing by the wizard that's not dead?
It's you, Grelda, and Geisen right now.
Okay. So yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I must have missed that. Geisen is up by us with the unconscious wizard.
Yeah.
Yes. He kind of went around the outside and stopped up by you guys.
Around the outside. Okay.
Round.
Sorry. I'm trying not to do it. It'll get Nate all worked up. Anyway, yeah, I'll produce a dagger and when make kind of halfway guiltily look over my shoulder, make Shanishi's not watching, and slice that robe open.
All right. As you slice the robe open, it doesn't take much, and the robe pulls apart very easily, and you see underneath the skin of the creature's chest is a almost stone grayish color, and the chest is concaved inward just a little bit so that the silver Sahedron medallion is almost sunken in just a little bit, like the medallion fits in the concave of its chest perfectly.
Okay, so when I see that, I think Geisen stops. Maybe we should question him before we take that off, because I have a feeling that maybe if we take that off, he's gonna turn into liquid or something.
Okay. So my intent was I was going to burn the bodies in front of him, make sure he saw what was going on while I performed a last rite to Obi, maybe to intimidate him and say, hey, look, we'll kill you and let you go to your master, or you can be stuck going to your final reward with Obi and wherever she takes you. But if you think taking that off is going to kill him, then yeah, let's leave it on. Since you're the master wizard here, no offense, Gendrick, what's the best way to tie him up? I mean, we need to snap some fingers off, or can we just tie him up so he can't cast some spells?
As I was like examining him, does he have like normal arms and stuff? His limbs?
He does have he does have 4 limbs, 2 arms and 2 legs. Like I said, you notice that the legs went in bent the wrong way, and the arms are covered by the sleeves, and then there are white gloves at the ends of them. So he does appear to have 4 appendages.
I mean, we could just use rope. I do have a spell or 2 that I could use to restrain him if we had to, but they're pretty high level, so I'd rather not waste the slots unless we need to.
At this point, I'm going to wander over to the group and kind of join them, looking at this guy. What do you think's behind the mask?
Well, we're going to find out as soon as we get his arms tied up to his sides and his hands bound together as well, so he can't really do any somatic components. No symbols. No funky drawing in the air. In fact, Gendrick, do you have any, I mean, you got tools and all kinds of stuff. Do you have something that would like hamper his hands from moving?
Well, I'm sure I have some rope in my backpack, but other than if you needed to burn the hands, yes. Otherwise, probably no. So no.
Okay. No bindings, no cuffs, no links, no wire.
I'm sure I could fasten something
Yeah.
if we wanted to make something, if we wanted to take the time, but
Nah.
otherwise just your plain old hemp and rope.
But I guess that might be a question. Would Geisen, I'm sure he would know, if we just tie his hands behind his back, is that enough to prevent him from doing the motions for a spell, or does it need to be more involved in that?
I mean, I believe the definition of what is the somatic components is just hand movement. I don't believe it needs to be like large gestures. So even if his hands were like this, I believe I would rule that you could still cast a spell.
Okay.
But if we tied his hands like that around the hands, so he really can't move his fingers, is what Tarn is trying to come up with how to do that. I mean, if I had freaking duct tape, I'd use it.
Does anybody have a sizable amount of water? I mean, not like a ton, but like enough to, because I can cast shape water to freeze water. So if we like,
Could we just tell Grelda if he moves his fingers to cut him off?
I'm
I
not
mean-
sure if Grelda would be willing to do that, but I would.
Yeah.
Well, for this guy, like, no, this
Tanisha,
guy
yeah.
has like, I feel like this guy has like threatened the safety of the people that Grelda cares about.
No,
She was
Don't do
ready. She was ready to take him out and had to be told at the end of combat last time to not, right?
but now he's
I
not
would-
threatened.
I would say Grelda is very, very much against torture of any kind. But if it was a defensive maneuver, I think she would probably kill him if he tried to cast a spell, as opposed to just cutting off his hands.
I agree. I would agree.
Yeah. Like I think she would put Sasha basically against his throat and tell him if
just
you
be
move,
like,
you're
hey, you do a
But-
thing, you're fucking dead.
dead. Yeah.
But so yeah, I think shape water would work. Like, can we just take like a water skin, cut the top off of it, and put his hands in it, and then I'll just freeze it?
I like it. It's brilliant. I think that's great. I mean,
Actually, shape water allows you to actually like shape the water itself, doesn't it? I would have to read the spell. Like you wouldn't have to cut the water skin off and put his hands in it. You would just need to pour it out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can form it into simple shapes.
Yeah. So you
Okay.
just take your water skin, just pour it on the ground, and then like put his hands near it and just form it into a block around his hands. I would do that.
Okay.
I would go with that.
So I probably not me, but somebody tie his hands behind his or tie his arms behind his back, and then I'll do the freezing thing.
All right. Done.
All right. As Tarnan, as you use part of your hempen rope to, like, you grab his wrists and kind of move the body, and you get the same impression that Geisen did. The flesh under the robe, like you're not feeling the flesh itself, but under the robe, it just seems to give extra. And the way you're able to pull the arms behind it, you are used to more like it being harder to move the arms than this. They are almost floppy. Not quite, but almost. And then as you begin to tie the rope around the hands, you actually feel like you cinch the rope a little bit and you feel it go in a little further than you would expect. Like everything just seems a little off, but you are able to roll him on its side and get its arms behind its back.
So I don't know a lot about these things, but in my wildest nightmares, I imagine this is not really his body. It's just something corporeal that he's using to cast spells through. Is that I mean, anyway, it doesn't matter. You know what? At this point, let's just wake him the hell up. He's got his hands tied. He's got his arms tied. He's got his hands froze and his arms tied.
Shape water is a cantrip, right, Jason?
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure. Sorry, Bill.
I can't really burn his buddies in front of him to send them off to their great reward or punishment through Obi's deity, but maybe just burning I don't think that's going to affect him. So let's forget that part. Okay. My intent is to wake him up, ask him a few questions, and then quickly and efficiently send him off. Does anyone have a problem with that? It's not torture. It's ending him for his crimes.
No, sir. I'm going to point at him and cast True Strike so that I have advantage on my first attack on him if it comes down to it.
How long does that last?
Up to hang on, let me click on the right thing.
Up to an whoop.
Up to a billion minutes.
My next turn, I gain advantage, provided the spell hasn't ended for up to one round concentration.
That's 6 seconds.
Okay. Well, it's a cantrip. I'll keep doing it over and over until you wake up.
Tanisha's just sitting back, just going.
I mean, she's just preparing it. Whoever's going to hit it first.
Well, is it just you that gets advantage?
Yes.
Oh, oh
Yeah,
well.
it's just me that gets advantage, unfortunately.
No worries.
Be
Okay.
better one of us than none of us.
So Tarnan slaps him gently along the side of the face 2 or 3 times, and if he hasn't started to rouse at all after the 3rd time, he hauls off and slaps him.
All right, so are you rolling him back onto his back, or how is he going to be? Okay, so he's going to be laying on his back, the hood still around his face. The mat. What was that?
Hood down. You know what? Let's do that part right away. Let's take the mask off while I'm laying him back down.
Okay, so as you roll the creature on its back, you reach down, and the mask is it's extremely smooth ivory, and you were able to grip it with your hand, and you expect some resistance, but it actually moves very, very easily. And as you pull it away, you see what can only be described as a wholly alien visage on its face. The top half of its face is flat, smooth, gray skin. The only feature on it is a scarred in Sahedron right here. And then the mouth is comprised of tentacles and polyps that move and open as it breathes in not human ways. And you can just see it kind of moving as it's breathing unconscious.
Does it have a ball in its hand that it helps use to talk and communicate through?
He doesn't have anything in his hands.
Okay.
Ice.
Thank you.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Tarnan takes a half step back, looks over to Geisen and Gendrick. You seen that before? That's new to me.
Would that seem familiar at all?
Anybody who wants to can give me a you can give me a history check. Anybody who would like.
I would like to.
I'd like to. Oh.
Is anybody else good
I-
enough in history to assist? I'm quite good at history, so you might want to let me.
Oh. I mean, I am.
No, everybody, I'm sorry, everybody would roll their, I would say everybody roll their own. Everybody who wants to.
Okay.
11.
12.
Icky got a 9. Let me just find a D20 for Grelda. Oh, geez. Grelda got a 4.
I got a 19.
Guessing got a 24.
24. All right. Tarnan and Geisen, you have a vague memory of like scary campfire stories, like that kind of oral retelling of monsters from other planes with tentacles for mouths and thousands of teeth that come in the night and like through your nightmares, just like otherworldly horror stories that you have heard in retelling different ways and different manners that you've always just kind of sloughed off. You've seen horrors and none of them kind of matched what people were talking about. So you just kind of hand waved it as a boogeyman. But it reminds you, you get a little ping in the back of your mind of like some parts of those stories. And that's what this thing kind of reminds you of.
Does a name come to mind?
Not in particular. Most of them were just described as a horror, a creature, a nightmare.
Your brain may have made some weird type of ood noise for unknown reasons.
All right. So after Geisen mumbles or says something about what it is, that triggers Tarnan's memory since he rolled lower. Yeah, but that's a myth, right? Clearly not. Okay, cool. You remember in the story anything useful about what we can do to keep it here or make it tell us the truth? I mean, will your spells even work on it?
I guess just maybe in general, would Geisen have any knowledge of like creatures from other planes, like anything special about?
You would like creatures from other planes. Are aware of like aberrations and stuff like that. And I know that there are certain spells that don't work on aberrations. Yep. Certain spells that don't work on devils. Like there are some other planes that have certain creatures like that, where most of the spells work as intended, but there are some that don't affect them the same. And they actually say on the spell blocks themselves.
Okay, one other question. I have an identify ritual. Choose an object that you touch, and if it's magical, you learn about its properties. If it was created by a spell, you learn what spell created it. Would that work on a creature, or would that just be like an inanimate object?
Read that first part again.
You choose one object that you must touch.
Yeah, that would just be like an item. It wouldn't be a living thing.
Okay.
Well, if we kill it, then it's an object, right?
Well, it might honestly be worth it to try on either the robe or the mask, depending on, because they may have shown up clothed. Table talk, sorry.
It doesn't seem like the mask is magical or the robe is magical. I guess they could be, but like we took the mask off, right, and nothing happened.
No, nothing happened.
Where is the mask right now? Who's got it?
I believe Tarnan still has it, unless he did something with it.
It kind of stuck in my hand as soon as I took it off and took a step back. Like, holy shit! It's right here.
Can you guys check it out?
Yeah, I guess. You got something else I can cover his face with real quick if I need to?
Do we have a bag?
He's like, I got my claw.
Okay.
Does Geisen notice anything special about the mask, or it's just
not other than it's well-made quality? Like you both can tell it's ivory. It is it's extremely smooth, and it's well made, but nothing other than that.
Oh, it's not just ivory color, it is actually a piece of ivory.
It is actually a solid piece of ivory.
And none of the dead wizards had the mask left.
No, the mask was not left over.
Huh. Interesting.
Well, in that case, maybe we do want to take that Sahedron off of him before it dissolves too.
Well, maybe we should question him, and then before we end him, take the Sahedron.
Sounds good. And that's when Tarnan proceeds to slap him as previously described.
All right. After the first one, you see the tentacles and the polyps begin to move very quickly, and it shakes its head, and its head moves around, and if it had eyes, you would be able to tell, like you would notice that it was looking at all of you, and then it moves slightly and then just leans back on the ground. Well, now, isn't this interesting?
Why is it interesting?
I can't say I've ever been on this side of an Akkadian before. I thought I was worthy of being sent here by my master, but you've proven me wrong.
You imagine he's kind of disappointed at you?
So what was that, Geisen?
What word did he say? This side of the what?
Akkadian?
Akkadian?
Akkadian.
Does that ring any bells to...
I would say that is not something any of you have heard before. Okay, Tarnan, what were you saying?
You imagine he's going to be disappointed with you then?
We shall see. We shall see.
So, do you know who Cadmus is?
Is that your one?
My one?
He kind of looks at you, tilts his head slightly, and looks at everybody else. Are you not familiar with the accordion? No.
I'm not a really big fan of the accordion. It kind of grates on my nerves a little bit, to be honest with you.
You know, I think I come up with nice names, and this is what you people do. No, so
I gotta the only thing that's worse than that's the one thing that is worse than bagpipes. An accordion.
I think it's gonna have to do his bad Boston accent in the next one and say accordion.
Accordion.
You pull that
guy, like all of a sudden he was hanging out on the floor and he just pulled out his accordion.
He kept talking about his accordion. Me and my bros thought he was gonna stop playing some polka.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like the bagpipe at least has battle implications. Like the accordion's just annoying.
I dare you to tell Weird Al that to his face.
No.
I think we are right now.
So as the creature looks around, he tilts his head the other way. An accordion must be adhered to when a vanquished opponent is humiliated by defeat and letting them live. I've been on your side before, but never down here.
Why would we let someone with an accordion live?
Look, what's your name, man?
All right, I will explain. The one who is vanquished but humiliated with life is forfeited one answer and a boon to those that humiliated them. Before being released, provide one boon to each of his betters as a penance to Nalathotep, lest his dissatisfaction be dealt out by the hounds of Tindalos. Only then will the vanquished be sent back to Sarkomand to be judged.
So the short version is, if you don't give us boons, or if we don't accept your boons, you're stuck here for a while. While he's thinking that over, Tarnan messages to Gendrick, your boon should be, where the hell is your uncle?
I am at your mercy, but this is the last question I will answer until you agree to take part in the accordion.
No. No, ew.
What?
Captain, I don't want an accordion.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't want any of us to have one.
Accordion. You don't have to take the accordion. What he's saying is he's willing to trade a boon, a favor.
He said an answer and a boon.
And then he gets to go about his merry way back to the plane he's from.
to be judged
Yep.
for his accordion.
That's what they call it. They call it an accordion grade.
Okay.
There's lots of different words. Like, think about it. We've got words that have multiple meanings, right? Like there, and there, whatever. So, simple version. He wants us to agree to this so that he can be free. Or we can just not let him be free. My intent was to ask him questions about where Cadmus is, because that's the part we really care about here. Unless I'm missing something.
I think the only way we're gonna get that answer is if we go along with it.
Yeah, he's probably not going to answer anything else until we agree to his accordion.
Yeah, that's. I mean, this is his
God
custom.
damn it! It didn't look like that. I didn't see that when I typed it out.
It seems like we are perhaps surrounded by a series of gates where the chances of even perhaps finding our next destination, source of the Red Wizards, and certainly Cadmus is, I feel like we have fairly low odds without, unfortunately, his assistance. But
Is his last name Everdeen? Just curious.
No.
no, okay. I'm curious about a boon and an answer. So is this like a 2-for-1 deal where we get two things and he gets his freedom?
Well, we each get two things, right?
That's what he said.
one is right.
Ah, interesting.
Or
How do we know the answer would be
us back
truthful?
and take him to I don't know, we could take him back to let some other place study him a little bit more. I mean, why not humiliate the hell out of him? And then he looks over at Grelda, unless that's torture.
Grelda seems harumphy about that idea, I would think.
You got creatures coming in from another realm trying to cause all kinds of problems.
Message is an actual spell, right? So I can't just like shoot a message to someone at will.
It is a spell. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a cantrip, so I use it a lot.
I will hold my table talk. Actually, I will wave to Tarnin and say, like, you want to. Can I reply with message if I get message?
Yes.
Okay. I will.
So, okay, you do that, and Tarnin goes, oh, here's another open message. You can reply.
If this is some kind of arcane bounded contract, can we not get one answer and one boon from one individual and then pause in the ritual for some time? If you get my drift.
Tarnin responds back mentally, I don't know. I've never played with an Acadian. I mean, usually extraplanar shit is my kind of thing, but I don't know this one.
Since everybody's doing it, I messaged to Tarnin. We could also try doing what we did to I remember what that guy's name was. The like scholar guy that we suggested tell us everything.
Tarnin responds back, do you think it'll work on him? That's what I was asking about earlier.
I reply back, I have no idea, honestly.
Are you willing mentally back? Are you willing to try it?
Yeah.
Have at it.
So at this point, like, Icky's looking really meaningfully between like Tarnin and Geisen and Gendrick. Just with no real pattern, just like looking between them, just like being like, oh, every now and again, just nodding knowingly, like, oh yes,
I
yes,
get it.
Alan.
I get it.
Oh yeah.
Just to play into it, Tartan turns to Icky and says, "You're absolutely right," and then looks over at
He's like, I know, right?
I message Gendrick and I just run the idea by him too, since he knows a thing or two about magic, just to see his opinion.
A thing or two, but I would say can't hurt to try.
Okay. So I will cast suggestion on it and suggest that he fully cooperate with us and answer anything we want to know.
All right, it did fail.
Wait, the spell failed or he failed the?
So he failed the saving throw.
Okay.
Even the DM calls it an it, not a he.
That fucking spell. It breaks all of Sean's like fucking plans. Like watching his balls break is a magical thing.
I just had to try it out. Can you explain what forms a boon might take?
Kind of like twitches his head. Once you tell me if you'll honor the Akkadian.
He's not disagreeing with you. He's not.
So yeah, I guess I technically asked him, will you tell us what forms a boon would take?
He twitches his head again. I cannot answer any more questions until we begin the Akkadian.
Interesting. Okay. So I messaged to Tarnan. It looks like it's not going to work. So I think if we want to get our answers, we're probably going to have to at least partially go along with this ritual. He did say the way that he's forming this almost makes it sound like we're agreeing to a contract. Is there anything about that, like magically, that would make sense to Geisen? Like, are there like magical contracts that?
They require some type of signature, not necessarily verbal.
Okay.
So we got this extra planar creature sitting here waiting to go home. We embarrassed him. His culture says we have to agree to, if we agree, we're in a contract that binds him to give us a boon because we embarrassed him, humiliated him, made him look really dumb. Or what? We kill him, he goes back and we get nothing? So what's the trick? Why would he not just shut his mouth and wait for us to kill him instead of having us enter this contract with him? I mean, it almost seems like now we're in a contract. Look, I've done a lot of contracts in my day, and even the best ones I've had, there's a little give and take. I don't know that I want to be involved in any contract with whatever the hell that is.
We have no guarantee any answers he would give are true unless if we ask for a boon of truthful answers. Like I don't like this. This isn't. He's not of our world.
Geisen, we're talking about this out loud.
Yeah, you have been, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Geisen says, as far as I know, a contract would need more than just a verbal acknowledgement. Like if there's a magical contract at play. But I do agree that it seems fishy that he wouldn't just let us kill him.
Icky will step forward, just be like, I'll play your accordion. I'm not afraid.
As soon as Icky speaks, the creature like nods its head. The accordion has begun. Each of you gets one question, which I will answer truthfully. Then I will provide you with a boon. One question, one boon each. And then he just tilts his head and waits. And that's where we'll take a quick break.
Hey!
Hey! Yes. All right. It begins.
It's been a minute since Icky's blundered us into something silly.
All right. So, when we left off, Icky had agreed to the accordion, made it very clear that you get one honestly answered question and one boon each.
So Icky will did this thing have lapels to grab again? I can't remember.
Have what?
Lapels to grab.
It's got the rope.
The robe, all right. So like Icky just grab him and like, how do we kill Kurzog?
It tilts its head. One. My lord is powerful, but not immortal. If you were to defeat him in battle, to end his life and destroy the machine, he would not be able to come back. And then he kind of tilts his head the other way, still his eyeless gaze still focused on Icky. And he says, your boon is that there's a gate to Zingastash. And then he just turns his head and begins to look at everybody else.
Icky will like continue looking at him really seriously, and then just kind of like to the side without looking at him, say to Tarnin, like, I can't grow a mustache.
What about the gate, did he say?
He said your boon is at the gate to Zingastash.
Oh, okay.
Your boon is
Damn.
at the gate to Zinzastash?
That is what he said.
Okay.
We already knew that one.
Billy Portal.
What was that?
We were talking to our cat who's singing the song of his people right now.
Yeah, we're just
I'm
working.
starving.
Damn, sorry. I thought we could request a specific boon. I didn't realize.
That's what I was
granted
thinking
to
as
us.
well. Yeah.
Hmm.
So like Icky will just kind of like look back at everybody else and like shrug while still like kind of holding him by like the cuffs of his robe, like, and then kind of like look around and like whoever's closest just kind of like
Yeah.
Offer up his cuffs too.
I'll take them. I'll say, well, my plan's shot. Tell me, fiend, where's Cadmus Crowflare?
He tilts his head.
2. Your uncle is quite comfortable in the village of Marigold. He's currently employed by us. It's always easier to keep people imprisoned when they don't know that they're hostages.
As I'm holding him, I'm just gonna throw him back and turn around and just go, ah!
He flops on the ground, tilts his head up a little bit. His gaze is again focused on you. And he tilts his head and says,
Your boon is at the gate to Zinshlast.
Mentally,
I'm gonna walk away a little bit, just hand to my forehead, just
Mentally
away from the
tricky.
groups a little bit.
Go check. Take Gendrick and go check the gate to Zinzalast and see what's there. Quickly.
Who are you talking to?
Shalast or Zastash? the one they told to me or to Gendrick?
I'm sorry, I thought he said the same one for both.
for Icky, it was Zin Gastash. And for Gendrick, it was Zin Shalast.
I haven't encountered the Zin Celeste one yet, but the Zin Gastash, I think, was the first one.
It was.
Which
Yep.
is that the orange?
Yes, that would be the orange in the bottom left.
All right. Well, Icky will kind of meander down towards the Zingastash gateway, and just kind of like look around, perhaps percept at things. I don't think he wouldn't be touching things. He's a smarter bird than that.
All right, so Icky kind of takes off and begins walking. Is anything else going to happen while he's kind of making his way? I mean, it's take a minute for him to get there, but
Just to fill out that RP a little bit, do you hear Tarnin's request to take me with you? I'm just kind of like in my own little world, a little bit inconsolable right now, like just zoning out a little bit, let's say.
Well,
Icky would have heard the request because it was messaged to him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I'm sorry. I personally, I missed that piece.
Okay.
Volume not very good. Do I need to turn it up or something?
It may be that. It also may be just that I'm being poorly attentive at the moment. But if the part of the message was to like bring Gendrick, then like Icky totally would. He'd like just be like, hey, it'd be like let's check out this boon business, buddy.
I don't think Gendrick would reply, but he'd just kind of go along with it.
Okay, so Icky and Gendrick kind of make their way. As you get to that first gate that Geisen had told you, it is the archway, and there is the runic circle that has a soft glow. Just outside of the archway, sitting on the stone floor, Icky, you see 2 small vials of clear, fragrant potions. 2 like small glass vials that are kind of sitting on the ground. They're kind of teardrop shaped, maybe 3 inches tall.
Okay. Like it's like, hey, look, looking at them, they just like, did anything look weird about them to Icky?
No, they are like, the glass is crystal clear. The liquid inside looks like it's like very clear liquid, like almost see-through. You can barely tell there's liquid inside of it. And you do get a very light fragrant, flowery scent off of them.
Okay. So I guess like Icky would kind of like look back at Gendrick and like shrug. And then if Gendrick doesn't give him any kind of meaningful response, he'd just like
He doesn't.
pick him up and all right, so yeah, he'll just like pick up the like so Icky will pick up these vials and like take a little look at them, maybe give him a little gentle shake, and then
Nitroglycerin, kaboom!
assuming nothing happens, really just like pack them away for a moment to have somebody who might be a little bit more knowledgeable take a look at them.
Okay. Then you have 2 fragrant glass vials.
All right.
Guys, noticing that you guys stopped at the gate and been there for a little bit, messages Icky, what did you find?
Icky messages back just like found just like these 2 vials of kind of flowery smelling clear liquid. I have no idea what this is all about, but they look nice and they smell nice.
Message back, oh, boon potion, of course.
Yeah.
Maybe I haven't figured out which gate is in Celeste, but you could come around the other way. It's got to be one of the blue ones or the green one. Maybe see if the exact same boon is at the other gate or if it's a different thing, and then we could possibly use one of our questions to ask him what this stuff is.
All right. So again, like Icky will be able to grab Gendrick and be like, hey, let's go, let's see if we can find another boon, like kind of like, again, like wiggles the vials at him. Like maybe we can find another boon in front of one of these portals, whichever one this goes to Zin Shalast, huh?
Yeah. Gendrick will follow.
Okay.
I guess we'll just
Then
continue around the outside,
Cruise around,
counterclockwise.
Around the outside, as they say.
Around the outside.
Around the outside.
All right. So as they come back, like Grelda, Tarnan, Sanishi, like you see them kind of come up and then pass you by and keep going. And once you come to that first green gate, the archway, you actually see a small object like right in front of the gate on the ground. And as you come closer, you see that it is a small screwdriver.
So I get if Icky and Gendrick are kind of approaching this at the same time, if Gendrick doesn't approach it, just like look at it, maybe get down like real close at it. Look back at Gendrick.
Yeah, Gendrick is kind of lost in thought, kind of more or less calculating different scenarios in his head at the moment. But a tool isn't going to go beyond his notice. And I think curiosity is going to get the better of him, and he's going to pick that up.
It is a very well made screwdriver with a oak like handle.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm just going to pocket it after taking a look at it, but it's going to intend to spend some time perhaps working with it or analyzing it in the future. And he's just Gendrick will just say, I think this is my boon. And this is the gate to Zin Shalast.
Oh yeah, that was the green one.
That was the green one.
Yeah.
So at that point, like Icky will just like turn to Gendrick, like, is everything okay? Like, do you...
There's 2 possibilities. Either the fiend is lying, like Sanishi suggested, or he's not lying. And, well, that's a lot for me to think about. Either he's willingly working with them or has been tricked into working with them. Both are less than ideal, but one is certainly much worse than the other.
Well, that is a poor hand, but we'll get it figured out. We've got questions and boons yet ahead of us, right? Maybe that screwdriver will help you fix things.
Maybe. Was this a trap? Was I lured here by the powers that be to bring this group here for some reason? More or less, he's just there's like dozens of scenarios playing out in Gendrick's head, and he's not sure what's going on, and it's all dependent on if this fiend is lying or, tricking us or not, which is at this point an unknown.
So, turn to Tarnin. So we know how to kill the big bad. We kill him in battle, and we destroy his machine. We know where Gendrick's uncle is. What else do we need to know? How to get to Big Bad? All right. Gonna turn to the guy and say, "Hi, so how do we get to your boss to defeat him?"
Tilts his head.
3. If you want to see my Lord Curzor face to face, you first need to travel to Zinshlast, then make the journey through the gate to the dimension of Lang, where he waits.
And then kind of twitches his head, looks back at you, Sinishi.
Your boon is at the gate to Syncrucian.
And then he leans back on the ground.
I think that's pink, maybe.
That is
red.
That is correct.
You say the name again, sir. Crucian?
Zin Sarusian. CyrusIan.
All right. I guess I'm gonna go. All right. Thanks, dude. Go get my boon.
No problem, brah.
No. So as Sinishi begins to make her way around, you come close to the gate, and below the archway on the ground, you see a mandolin.
I'm gonna pick that shit up.
So yeah, you pick it up. It is an exquisite example of a mandolin in every way. The ornamentation on it, the way the wood looks, it is probably the most well-made instrument you've ever had in your hands.
Awesome. All right.
Beats the hell of a recorder.
I mean, nothing really beats my recorder.
Jason messages Tarnin. We probably don't want to waste our questions. Should we ask for a weakness that Kurzog might have, or what do you think we should ask next?
Partner responds back, I was struggling with that myself. Do we want to know how to destroy the machine? Do we want to know how to get to the machine? Or do we want to know his weakness? Those 3 things are coming to mind. We're running out of questions to ask.
I can't wait for Tammy's watch back where she is screaming what her question would be.
I have a few ideas.
And instead, her question is going to be, what kind of brew could I make to make this all better?
What is your favorite color?
Blue, no, yellow!
And that's when he melts. Trick question.
I think Tammy's question. I think her question. If there's not another battle-related question that needs to be asked, I think Grelda would probably ask what they could do to help this creature in its trial after it goes back, after this whole process is done.
She's big-hearted, but I don't think she's that big-hearted after she just tried to kill this thing because it literally blew you up.
Yeah, but she's out of her blood rage now.
But I agree, though. I think
She's not
if she was
raging
gonna
anymore.
ask,
She's got time to think again.
if she was gonna ask something frivolous, I think she would ask for like,
What's the best beer recipe? Like,
Yeah.
from his plane or something.
And I mean, honestly, though, I have a feeling that like Grelda would not be quite so irreverent in this situation. Like, since this thing is clearly connected to the thing that we've all decided as a group is like, this is the thing we need to take down. This is our hurdle.
That's what my caveat was. If we don't have any other battle related questions, I think she'd probably be compassionate. But even before she asked about beer.
I think Gendrick's gonna walk up to the group by the fiend, as I like to call him, and ask simply, far be it from me to ask anyone else to use one of their questions, but I would suggest if we perhaps could know if Cadmus was willingly working with this group, I think we have no reason to retrieve him, and
the way that he described him being there working with him made it sound like they're tricking him, didn't it? Because they said
Not aware of what he's doing.
Yeah, like he's not aware that he's a hostage. Like, so that makes it sound like he's either not willingly, like, he doesn't know who he's working for, basically.
Just like you were unaware that you were tricked into luring us here. You had every intention to do right, and I can't, without knowing Cadmus, I can't imagine that he would intentionally work with this type of individual.
That is the modus operandi of the Red Wizards. That's a good point. Perhaps I was too quick to judge.
So, I guess I could say it out loud. It doesn't matter. I turned to Tarnan. So do you think ask how to get to the machine next? We have 3 questions left, right? So we could hypothetically ask, how do we get to the machine? How do we destroy it?
I think knowing the nature of the machine may also be useful.
Yeah, I think Gendrick might be our best bet for phrasing of this one, given that he has mechanical knowledge, right? Is that right?
Yes. Yes.
So
the application of the arcane to make machinations is my specialty, of course, but
so like, is a Grelda look around and be like, all right, so we feel like asking him the nature of the machine is the way to go.
Is there a way that we can ask him the nature of the machine while also asking, like,
no wishing for more wishes?
What's what I get, like, so like Grelda like grab the lapels of the guy. This is the official question asking pose. Be like, what's the machine meant to do?
Twitches, tilts his head. 4. The machine is what opens the gateway, the last bit necessary to allow my lord to return when his strength is full. And to allow us to come through ahead of him. Tilts his head again. Your boon is at the gate to Zin Haruka.
The one we're at, I think, right? The yellow.
Yep. And as Geisen says that, Grelda turns her head like right behind her, and on the ground under the archway, she sees a small pocket watch.
Hey!
Does it have a chain on it?
It does.
It does. All right.
It does.
Does it point to where booze is?
I wouldn't give her that twice. But yes, it is a small gold pocket watch with a chain. The lid is popped open and it is sitting on the ground.
Okay. It's like, since everybody else has kind of picked up their boons without incident, Grelda just kind of like look back and forth and like go and like pick it up and take a look at it. Does it look like it's functioning like a normal pocket watch? Is it?
It is. It is ticking away the seconds.
Right.
It is light, but well made. A golden cover, golden case, glass cover over the actual watch portion of it.
Mm-hmm. Any like switches or buttons that you can push on it that you plays around with, see if they do anything other than normal watch operations?
No, and it doesn't even have the winding gear at the top.
Huh.
It is completely circular.
All right, then.
Outside of the chain coming off.
Grell would probably give it like a quick few twirls above her head on the chain. Anything of note happen?
It very well reflects the faint light off of the runic circle. And you see it kind of flash like you're having a rave. But other than that,
A single person rave.
Jason turns back to Tarnan. Okay, so 2 questions left. We have 3 to choose from, right? How do we get to the machine? How do we destroy it? And Kurzog weaknesses, which we want to prioritize. Maybe location of the machine would be pretty important.
That's the one I've been leaning towards.
Geisen steps up to him. How do we get to the machine?
5. The machine must be reached by going through the gate to Sinchalast, climbing the stairs, past the domain of Glaurung, into Lang, and it waits at the chamber of my lord.
Sean, could you say that again? Some of us don't write very fast.
to Zinjalast, up the stairs, through the domain of Glaurung, into Lang, and the machine waits at the in the room with my lord.
Thank you.
And then he tilts his head the other way and says, "Your boon is at the gate to Zin Adasirel." And then he leans back against the ground.
Geisen decides he knows it's got to be one of the blue ones, so he starts heading over.
All right. So as you go around, it is the first blue one. And on the ground, just outside of it, you see a small palm-sized brass disc of articulated concentric rings.
Of course.
Obviously.
Can you spell that, Zin, please?
That is Zin, EDASSERIL. Adacero.
And that was light or dark blue?
That was the dark blue.
I pick it up, see if I can sense anything about it. Just, I guess.
It has 3 concentric rings on it. You can tell there's something about it that is out of the ordinary, but
Okay. I won't mess with it until I have a chance to try to identify it. So I'll just carry it back and head back to the group.
Here goes nothing. Wizard, if you were me, facing Kurzog, looking for his weakness and hoping to defeat him, what would you wish for?
6. If I was facing my lord in battle, and I wanted to defeat him, I would wish for help from on high. For my lord Nylathotep is the only one that could help me best him.
But what I asked was, if you were me, who would you ask for, or what would you ask for?
what would you wish for?
Yes.
Okay. Misheard the question.
I apologize. Maybe I
Nope,
didn't.
that's my fault. For you. All right. Leans forward.
If I were you, I would wish to play on his bride. For my lord does not have weaknesses.
Tilts his head the other way.
And your boon is at the gate to Zin Bakr Khan.
Then he leans back, rolls his head.
The Akkadian is complete. But before I go, I find you interesting. So I offer a barter. I will answer questions for the cost of a word from the asker. Or I can leave. if we are done.
A word from the asker? Is that what it was?
That's what he said.
Fuck that. That's a monkey's paw.
Yep. Don't touch it.
Will you barter, or are we done?
We are concluded.
I wonder what I will be judged. And then he leans back and lays on the floor. And then, like slow motion, Yoda just melts into a puddle. The amulet on his chest and the mask both also just melt into the liquid.
The mask that I'm holding melts in my hand.
And your hands just into the liquid and kind of runs down.
The opposite of M&M's.
Is it warm?
It is a bit.
Gross.
Really glad I didn't put that in my pack like I was planning on.
Hmm.
It'd take forever to clean everything off.
I go to find my boon.
All right, as you go down to the last gate, the light blue one, you see under the arch a small cloth pouch, probably smaller than a softball, tied with a cord. It is dark blue velvet with an opening on the top that is tied tight with a cord.
Sorry,
it's
Geisen.
empty?
Oh, no, go ahead.
What was that, Bill?
Does it look like it's empty? Is it empty?
No, it is. It's got a like the bottom of it is round and bulging, and then it is tied at the top. It has something in it, yes.
And you said it was velvet?
Dark blue velvet.
Thank you. Go ahead, Icky.
I was just gonna ask, somewhat out of character. Geisen, what was your boon again? I was making other notes while we were talking about that.
It's a brass disc with concentric circles in it or something.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
And we all know what that is. So
Oh yeah.
Obviously.
For sure.
I tried to make these as obvious as possible.
the screwdriver seems, well, and the mandolin, I guess, fairly easy to identify, but
You're muted, Jill.
I'm actually going to take my mandolin and hold it out to you guys and just can you identify this so I can play it without
Blowing us up?
killing us all? Yeah.
is anybody reminded of the Rick and Morty with the devil and giving people items from the shop?
Yeah. This would have made me brilliant, but or like this Microsoft would have literally made me retarded.
All right.
You don't pay with money.
I can identify a item. Where is that?
I thought identify was do it and it's an area effect. No, that's not.
No, I believe it's an item, but it is a ritual for Geisen.
So yeah, it'll take me 11 minutes, or I can use my one thing arrest to eliminate the 10 minutes, and then it'll take me 1 minute, but I can only do one item.
This really needs to get identified. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to hold out from seeing how in tune it is, what it sounds like.
Isn't there a normal way that people like when you get
if you spend an hour with the item, focusing on it, messing around with it, you can learn its properties. Identify is just shortening that considerably.
We took quite a beating from that last battle. Perhaps I think we might want to take a moment to take a short break or rest.
Out of character, you should have taken a long rest already.
Yeah, we all got.
Oh, I think I might have said that before Lee got in. Yes. The way I do it, when you level up, it counts as a long rest.
Okay. Yeah,
So
I was just trying to RP
all their
the
stuff back. But no, it
time
would
to do a
would make
ritual, and a
sense.
little talk it over.
I just want to make sure you took the long rest on your character sheet.
I have
But
now.
yes, RP wise, it would definitely make sense for somebody to mention, having a breather.
Yeah, I say we maybe not here, but back farther in the hallway where it seems a little more controlled.
A little
Should
less
something decide to
arcane.
come through? Say again?
Yeah.
Well, assuming we can even figure out how to get out of here, because
Aren't we kind of stuck here?
last we tried to open that door, it was a closet.
Let's check
Did
it.
we ever try the doorknob on the other side of the door?
I mean, we have a screwdriver to jam in it now, so
We could have asked him, how the hell did we get out of here?
that would have been a question to ask.
Well, I think we, at bare minimum, we go through the Zen Celeste gate, go up the stairs, cross through that realm.
What do you think of someone that does the bare minimum?
I think they're a minimum bear.
I think we should ask Gowron.
How many how many pieces of Cthulhu flair?
All the Cthulhu flair.
So I think Gendrak asked, do we think he's truthful? I guess we'll see these items if they're helpful or actually a boon to us or not. But how do we feel about the information that we were just given?
Well, at least part of it, like, the whole Zen Celeste thing lines up with what we already knew. So I think depending on what we learn about these artifacts, if there's like hidden poison needles or whatever.
How'd you know? Okay, sorry.
It's like Halloween candy.
Watch out, people are going to give you their weed gummies. Because that makes sense economically.
Yeah, I think that makes sense actually, to figure out these items, what they are, and if the items are legit and we trust them, then it doesn't necessarily mean that he told us the truth, but I feel like it would make it more likely. But if the items are some kind of trap or something, then he probably wasn't truthful.
So the next question is, do we backtrack or do we pick a portal and go through?
Do we have any reason to believe that we'll be able to return through a portal once we've gone through it?
Nope.
We have no reason to believe that we can even get out of here through not a portal.
Can we send R2D2?
Oh, he
If
busted.
you mean WD-40, it will take me some
40.
time to construct a new version of him.
WD-40 dead.
Let me inject here. Grelda gets pissed off and stomps her way across the room and tries to open the main fucking door to get us out.
Yeah, I'm here for that.
Well, as Grelda makes her way down, she opens the door. It opens to that same, like 5 foot by 5 foot closeted space that you had seen previously.
All right, everyone in the closet, we'll shut the door. Then I'll search.
It's a 5 foot by 5 foot space. I don't think everybody's gonna fit in the closet.
I don't want to go in there with all you guys, Captain.
It's not that kind of closet.
7 minutes of heaven.
No,
Sorry.
you guys don't. How do I say this without being offensive?
How about just being truthful?
You guys don't bathe in blood enough and you smell kind of weird because of it.
Yes, it's definitely we who smell weird.
I see your point of view. I suggest holding your breath for a moment.
Well, it's really besides the point because we can't all fit in there anyway, right? Have we noticed any controls anywhere, levers or switches or anything?
Nothing seems different from the last time you did a thorough search of the space.
And nothing out here, like in the large room. We didn't notice anything like that. Okay.
You didn't notice anything different from your initial interpretation of everything.
While we are all gathered around the closet, Gendrick asks, is anyone familiar with the village of Marigold?
John, are any of us familiar with the village of Marigold?
Why doesn't everybody give me a history check?
Oh boy, Icky will do just that. Icky ain't never heard of no marigold shit.
It's in the country of Triss.
You're fired. Get out.
Dirty 20.
And Grella doesn't know much better than Icky.
History?
Yes.
21.
21, 15, 20.
Oh, I had a 15. Sorry.
Yes.
25 for Geisen.
Okay. So basically, everybody but Icky is aware that it is a small township in the northeast by the coast. It's basically from where Sandpoint was all the way up the Lost Coast in fairly far north.
Not to be that bird, but Icky got a 4 and Grelda got a 5. So
I did not hear the Grelda. So everybody but Icky and Grelda.
Yeah, like sorry Grelda, but you dumb too.
None of you have ever been there, but you've heard of it.
Okay.
The sunny shores of Marigold.
And if you were to meet somebody there named Triss or possibly Yennefer, whatever.
You might be in a ripoff. Yeah.
Borrowing.
The only reason I ask is because if we travel through one of these gates, perhaps the Zin shall last. What happens with the Cadmus situation? And of course, we must not forget what happens with Dwayne.
I think we should try to get back to the church if we can.
Agreed.
It's the best place to rest would be back in the real world.
All right, I'll test this closet theory out. There's a terrible joke there, I'm sure. Anyway, Tarna's going to go into the closet, shut the door behind himself, and do a search from there inside to see if he can find anything different or any traps, any clicks, any...
Give me an investigation check.
Is it investigation?
Yes.
Hands-on.
Geisen can surely help him from outside the closet.
Did you try the door?
Don't call me Shirley.
Surely. Oh my god.
Ooh.
Natural 20.
Wow.
+2.
Oh, nice. Oh, it hasn't come through yet. All right.
Well, it's right there. Oh, it's gone now.
No, I still see I don't see the actual result of the roll on my end yet. But anyway, oh, there we go. Now I see it. I just take it a little bit. You check every corner of the door. You check the hinges. You check the walls. You don't notice anything other than a closet.
Okay, I open the door. Am I staring at my friends or am I staring at the other room?
You are staring at your friends.
Well, I think that's the first time I've ever been disappointed to see you guys. No, I take it back. I'm still relieved. It would suck if you guys were stuck in there and I couldn't help you out.
good, Captain, because that really hurt that you might not want to see me.
I said it was the first time ever. I was hoping I would have found our way back, and I could have got us home.
Just reeling a little bit here, Captain. Don't worry about me. I'll get over it. Deep breaths.
Just as an aside, I think we should all put random things in the chat so that Tammy.
Really yes.
Tammy just asked what was happening in all caps, so I think everybody should take a moment and put like some dead bodies or I just died.
I put a dragon in there. That should do it.
Okay. All right. So
That's terrible.
Tarnan steps out. I'm coming out of the closet. So Tarnan steps out of the closet, sees his friends.
Oh, that didn't work. Next.
Next.
Okay, let's think through this. So when we entered this room, we had a door behind us leading back to the church. These gateways weren't up, but the thing was still glowing and pulsing in the center, right?
That sounds right, I believe.
When you first entered, there was a small red swirling light in the center of the floor, and it wasn't until the wizards came and started talking that it grew and began pulsing.
Okay. Now we've already been all backed up against the walls.
Have we looked up? What's the ceiling? Is there anything on the ceiling?
There's nothing on the ceiling. It is in that area with the Sahedron. It goes up into a high dome, that smooth stone. And then in the outer hallways, the ceiling is about 15 feet high and just flat.
Oh, wasn't there more writing somewhere? I feel like
there was just writing on the archways themselves.
Okay. Didn't somebody tell us when we came here that there were only 2 gates that were working or something like that?
Yes. There was a limited, I've been trying to find that. But there's like only 2 or 4 of these actually work.
I want to see if you can find it. Yes, Fenton did say that the times that he visited, there were only
to Magnamar and Corvosa.
Yeah, that sounds right.
But all of these have had Zin names.
Yeah, that's not helpful.
It seems like, well, maybe those are the names of the ancient cities that were in these places long ago. Like maybe there was some Zincelasti sort of city where Magmar is.
Stands to reason. Now, if only you knew which one was which. And even then, how do we get how do we get Dwayne back, or do we go after go try to get to your uncle, assuming we missed at least one of these wizards?
John, do you know, can a familiar go through a portal?
Oh, sure, they can go through.
A familiar could go through like a portal or a doorway.
So I could send Ollivander through.
You would. Geisen would have known from looking at them that these are teleportation circles.
So you'll have to cast a teleportate spell. Teleportate spell.
Teleportate. So they're not like portals that are always open.
Okay.
It would be, it'd be teleportation circles, and you know that they are when a teleportation circle is made permanent, it is a single connecting point, or a single connection between 2 points. That is
And there's no
usable, but not always open.
And there's no chance. Like usually with teleport, there's a chance of ending up somewhere else, right? But if it's a circle, is that
If it's a permanent teleportation circle, then that chance is gone. Like it is from one place to another, it is set. Because you have to create the teleportation circle. God, it's like every day for, it's not a full year, but it's months. It's like 3 to 6 months. If you cast teleportation on the same spot once a day, every day for a certain amount of months, it makes it permanent. But yeah, then there's not a chance to go off kilter.
So it seems reasonable to assume that we can get to Zin Shalast, but I don't think we know exactly where that is. Do we have a method for ascertaining our location once we've teleported to some other location on this plane? Not sure if we have a spell or otherwise that could do that.
I don't think I have anything. I also do not have the teleport spell.
You do have a teleportation scroll.
Yeah. I don't suppose you're at a level where you can study up and learn that spell permanently yet.
I think it is an option in one of my. It's either this spell level or the last spell level. But I mean, as far as my character, he doesn't currently know it.
All right, well, I have no freaking clue how we're going to get anywhere. So I'm just going to kind of sit down somewhere and start studying this mandolin and try really hard to not play it at all as I do so.
Good luck.
Teleport is a 7th level spell. So you could copy it. You can copy it into your spell book, but you wouldn't be able to cast it out of your spell book unless you were able to cast 7th level spells.
I did just get a single 7th level slot.
Yep. Hey, it's almost like he planned this. It's almost like he intended for us to be stuck here to either burn that spell or you have to use that slot.
And how long ago did you get that teleportation scroll?
You know,
I'm a master planner. You got that from Zanisha
oh my gosh. Yeah.
when you killed her at Fort Rannoch.
Snake Lady number 2.
Yep.
She should have heard your sister scream when we cut off her fucking head.
All right, so Sanishi is examining her mandolin. Is anybody else doing anything?
I don't know, man. I don't.
You muted, love.
Icky would, I guess, like start staring at his little crystal vials and trying to figure them out if he could.
I'm gonna sit in the closet and attune myself to the closet and the workings and understandings of this closet.
Life gets much better outside of the closet, Captain.
You speaking from experience?
Who wants to be in the closet?
I mean, I never really
I'm
was in
coming
the
out of the
closet.
closet. Damn it, Tom Cruise, get out of the closet.
I'm not coming out of the closet.
Now I'm trapped in the closet.
And then I reach for my gun.
Now I'm gonna have to watch that episode again. All right, so Tarnan, you're just kind of sitting and chilling.
I gotta try it. I mean, I don't know what the fuck else to do right now.
All right, so
While he's doing that, I'll take a look at my concentric discs.
So we're gonna take a look at my screwdriver.
all right, and then Grelda. Nate.
Oh right, Grelda's doing a thing.
Grelda.
Let me hang on, let me double check my Grelda notes because she got a
Get a pocket watch.
pocket watch, right? That was the pocket watch. I guess she'll spend some time checking out the pocket watch and seeing if there's a logical place to affix it to to Sasha. If not, I could see her trying to put it on Geisen to make him look more dapper.
All right, so everybody is kind of spending time with their items they received, except Tarnan, are you spending time with yours, or are you just chilling in the closet?
I'll do that some other time.
Why don't you, Tarnan, why don't you leave yours with me? Because it'll take me 11 minutes to do mine, and then I can just do yours right after that. If you're going to spend an hour checking that out.
Unless you got another suggestion, man, I gotta try something.
I mean, the only other thing I could think of is I could try to use detect magic to see if there's something in the closet or the area that's magical.
Oh yeah. I hand him my dark blue velvet bag with stuff. I haven't bothered to open it.
If everybody will go into your inventory, and everybody should have new items added.
Nice. I'm going to refresh my D&D Beyond.
That's a
Good.
penis.
If anybody has any questions about them, let me know.
Ooh, +2. Now we're talking, baby. Nice. I got a +2 item. Sorry, I was excited.
You have a +2 artificer only item.
Oh, wow.
Holy shit. I mean, it's all right.
Sad-eyed?
It's all right.
Sad-eyed.
And then I'll just say it out loud. Grelda got a chronolometer. When attuned to this device, you have +1 bonus to intelligence saving throws. The first time you attune to it, you choose a language you don't know. You subsequently know that language. Time Bandit. At the start of your turn, roll a d6. On a 1 to 3, you slow down time and gain an additional action on your turn and double your speed until the end of the turn. On a 4 to 6, you go forward in time to warn yourself of what is to come. The next time you fail a saving throw, attack roll, or ability check, you can re-roll that and take either roll. Once you use this feature, you cannot use it again until dawn. And Fate Swap. As a reaction, when a creature you can see within 30 feet takes damage, that creature gains an additional action if it is the creature's turn, or it can take an action immediately even though it isn't the creature's turn. Once you use it, it cannot be used again until dawn.
Oh.
Ooh, fancy.
That's what Grelda got.
Holy moly, this tool. I'm going to have to like do some research on this one, but this is nice.
That's once a fucking day. Okay.
What's wrong with that?
Oh, no. I have something with 6 charges I can use once a day.
You can use the charge. You can use. Wow.
Yeah, it resets every fucking dawn.
It has 6 charges and resets at dawn.
Oh, okay. I was like, why does it have 6 charges if you're going to only use 1 charge a day? But okay, I get it.
So I can laugh
I'm also going to take a moment to attune myself to this freaking weapon.
So yeah, if we're
Mandalorian.
hanging out, I would like would anybody disagree that Grelda in this moment in the language you'd choose to be able to understand would be Thessalonian? Anybody disagree with that?
I think she would be smart enough to make that call.
Or at least the language that's just all the fuck around us right now.
Yeah.
I feel like even just like if we're going to play it super dumb, she'd be like, that one. I want to understand that one.
It keeps coming up everywhere. I want that one. Sure.
All right. So I did attune Grelda to it. And I will. I will add Thessalonian to her notes.
Okay. Sean, is this a one-time thing?
Yours is, yes.
Okay.
What time? Do you know about what time of day it is right now?
I do.
Do we? What was the last time we knew? And do we have?
You entered the church at what was it, like 2 a.m. ish?
We entered the church like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
I believe you entered the church. I believe it was 2. I will have to go back and double check the video. But I'm gonna say right, yeah, because it was in the middle of the night. I'm gonna say it was right about 2. So however long it has taken you to do 2 fights or a fight, questioning, coming to here, another fight, another question. But there is no, like, you can't see outside. So it would just be your best guess.
So probably 3 hours. Let's say it's 5 a.m. Best guess.
What do we have to do to tune item again?
It's just spend that hour with it.
I think he wants to know how to do that in D&D Beyond.
Oh, if you
roll
to the bottom of the item.
I know how to do it in D&D Beyond. I just couldn't remember the requirements.
It's spend an hour with it.
Okay.
But there is each person can only attune so many items.
I think 3, right?
I believe it's 3. I think there are feats and other things that allow you to attune more, but I believe it's a max of 3.
And then you probably can't or won't answer this, but if we hadn't kept the wizard alive to question him, would we have still gotten all this crap?
No.
Glad you asked.
I'm not telling you.
It's just
Sean.
You had this all prepared.
Motherfucker has so much prepared.
If something uses my spellcasting ability, does that mean using it fills that spell slot?
Only if it specifically calls out, it does. Otherwise, it uses your spellcasting ability for modifiers or saving throws.
Okay, cool.
Like your spell save DC or any spell casting modifiers if it's an attack spell.
All right, in that case, guys, check this the fuck out. And I strum and I just start like floating up in the air, levitating.
Mark off a charge.
Squiddly, 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 squeal!
I can do this and more once a day, guys.
That's awesome. Can you get us out of here with that somehow?
No.
Damn. I mean, never mind. I couldn't ask you yet. Has it been an hour, Sean?
You guys tell me.
Sure, it's been an hour.
Okay. Since everybody's attuned, since everybody got to, the only person who might have been able to identify and attune their items sooner than an hour would have been Geisen. He would have been able to do it in an hour and 22 minutes instead of 2 hours.
Gendrick feels inspired by his magic screwdriver. And for some reason, he realizes he has access to any single cantrip in dndbeyond.com. Thank you.
Holy shit.
What? Really?
Wait, what?
As an action, you can focus on the tool to channel your creative force. Choose a cantrip that you don't know from any class list. And for 8 hours, you can cast it.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
God dang.
I was feeling a little bad because I took a lot of combat spells and I'm supposed to be more utility, but I think Sean picked up on that and fixed it for me a little bit. Thank you.
And you also gain a +2 to all your spell attack rolls and saving throws.
Yeah, I like that my spell DC is 19 and I get a +13 on all my attacks now. Thanks for that too, by the way.
And what were you saying, Lars?
I think my item might be useful for our current situation, actually.
How so?
Well, it gives me access to some divination spells that I did not have access to before. And one of them is called Find the Path. Spell as you find. What?
Fastest path to Dwayne.
Shortest, most direct physical route to a specific fixed location that you are familiar with on the same plane of existence. If you name a destination, another plane, spell fails. So I don't know if I can do Dwayne because he's not, I would guess, not a fixed location.
Okay, well, the church.
Or to do like the church or something.
Yeah.
So I would need to spend a charge, spend a minute studying so that I can have to replace one of my spells with it though.
No, Geisen, you also would know since you identified it for me. That velvet pouch is reincarnation dust. We have one use of reincarnation dust.
So like if somebody dies, we can bring them back? Is that what that does? That's
Allows you to cast dead creature returns to life with a new body as though use of the reincarnation spell. Which is interesting.
wow. That is interesting.
All right, so does anybody else want to explain their items, or what would you guys like to do?
I mean, I'll do a quick rundown of my items. I got 2 potions of possibility. Each potion, when drank, gives me 2 fragments of possibility, which I can basically consume to get another D20 roll on any D20 roll. Whether it be an ability check or a saving throw or an attack roll. I can I can roll another D20 and choose whichever roll I prefer.
And it can be done after advantage or disadvantage.
Yes.
So if you have advantage on a roll, you can roll 2, have the top one, and then roll another one.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Sean is basically like this is message like, bro, your rolls have been so bad.
Brah, let me tell you.
Brah.
For mine, it's like I have access to those spells. If I use a charge, it has 3 charges. And it regains 1d3 at dawn. The other thing I can do with the charges is I can either add or subtract a d4 from attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. Like not just my own, but a creature within 30 feet of me.
Very nice.
So that's pretty cool.
So once a day, reset at dawn. This mandolin of mine lets me, one time each, cure wounds, dispel magic, fly, invisibility, levitate, protection from energy, and protection from evil and good. I can also, as an action, play the instrument and play the instrument to cast one of its things. That's it. And then I can also play the instrument while casting a spell that causes any of its targets to be charmed on a failed saving throw, thereby imposing disadvantage on the save.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Willy, 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 woo! Loot!
Yeah. So Sean went, wow, you're really ineffective at being both a bard and a fighter. Here you go.
So since I can already bring you guys back from dead, but none of you can do that for me. Should I give this to one of you guys in case I go down? Or should I keep it on my person so that you guys can be aware of it and use it if I'm near you?
One big difference, Bill. Revivify only lasts on creatures that have been dead the last minute.
Yeah. Like
The reincarnation dust is up to 10 days.
Right.
Just making sure that everybody's aware of that.
Got it.
Nice. Sean wants to kill us now too. Awesome.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's like, hey guys, look at this cool stuff. Aren't you gonna like use this when I try to murder you in a minute?
Murder, death, kill.
4 of you are dead. It's been more than 1 minute. You only have 1 use of this powder. What do you do? What do you do?
I levitate for 10 minutes.
I trip, I stumble, and I poured a shit on a cricket. Fuck. Comes back as a freaking dragonborn. Great.
Sean, some of these spells must not be wizard spells. And so when I go into like add spells to my spell book, it's not an option. Is there a way for me to like override that or something?
I will look into that, and if you do want to use a charge to do that, I can see if I can force it in there for you.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna use a charge to add find the path.
Okay, hold on. And which one are you going to take?
Well, I already unprepared a spell. I think that's probably all I need to do, or does it say that I have to do that again?
So I'm assuming that my efforts in the closet came to absolutely nothing.
That would be correct, sir. I mean, you feel a little calmer.
Probably not. I just sat in the closet for an hour. It's
Your breathing techniques.
I think a little more uptight. Claustrophobic. Closet phobic now.
Why don't you re-prepare that spell, Lars? And we'll just kind of use that as a stand-in, and I will see. As of right now, I don't know a way to force a spell outside of your class on D&D Beyond.
Okay, I'll add another 6th level that I can prepare then.
Yeah. And then you did find the path. So if you cast that other 6th level spell, we'll just count that as this for right now. And I will do some digging between now and next session to see if there's a way to do that. I don't know, because it's not letting me, as of right now, it's not letting me do anything.
Okay.
All right.